So I wanted to show you how to make a simple marking menu. So here I've got a couple bits of basic Mel code to reset, translate, rotate, right? I'm using the script editor really quick to confirm that the code works. Once I have code that's working the way I like it, I'll go Windows, marking menu editor. See that? Let me go back. So Windows, settings prefs, marking menu editor. That pops open this pane. Create marking menu. You'll have this basic layout comes in here. You give it a name. Each of these boxes is a slot that you can put a code in, or you can have it create another. You can do pop-up submenu where it will create another marking menu that branches out off of that. So there's a lot of potential to make these expanding. So you can have, like this by default is 8 slots, but then each of those could spin off to their own 8 slots, and as much as works for you. So, but to just fill in code into one of them is pretty straightforward. You just put in the label. If you know the icon file name, you have to know the file paths or use the default ones in Maya. I often will go to the script or the shelf editor and just search through the Maya icons and get the name. It's usually something like selection tool.png. You just type that in and it should pick up. Put the code in there that you want. So this one, reset, translate, and rotate. So I'm going to put both of them in there, save and close, boom. So now I'm going to make one on either side just for show. So the reset, translation, paste that code back in there, remove the bit that's not mine, or that's not needed for that, and then I'll do the same on the other side. The one thing to note with the manual marking menu editor like this is by default, it doesn't let you pick the code that you put in. It's always Mel code. There is a document you can edit afterwards, and you can tell it it's Python. But anytime you open up this marking menu editor and save it, if you accidentally open one of those codes that you set to be Python, it will likely unset it back to Mel, and things are going to be broken. So I typically just kind of wrap it in a Python call within Mel. You can find that easily on Google. So once you've saved it, you see it showed up in the list there in the marking menus. I can test it in this corner here just to make sure it's working and I don't have broken code. So cool. Let me hit save again. It's yelling at me because I didn't really make any changes. So that's all that's about. So here, the easiest way to set it up is to use the hotbox. That's if you hold down Shift key, you can here tell it like where you want to have it accessible, which mouse button you want to press to be able to call it up. I picked center and middle because I use middle mouse all the time. Center is going to be the fastest one to get to because, again, I'm always trying to like save, how much I move my pen. So, boom, I can see it right there. So hold down Shift and middle mouse in that middle area, and I get my commands. And what I don't like is I do use the spacebar thing to get to menus, and that can, well, on a heavy scene, it can take a half a second to pop up. So doing that really fast flick that you just saw me do, this right here. So I'm going to move it into a spot. Boom, I just flicked. It didn't even load the menu. You can see here if I'm framing through. I called the spacebar. Boom, I just dragged up and it applied. Sometimes that lag can actually cause issues. The lag that can happen on heavier files or slower machines. So you might want to set it to Hotkey Editor. So to do that, you have to set it to Hotkey Editor, actually apply that, and you'll see now it says accessible in Hotkey Editor. So now you're going to need to open Hotkey Editor. Boom. To find it, the easiest way is just type in the application command the name of your marking menu. So demo. Boom. There it is. Same name. Just pop it in there. It's already made a press and release command when you set accessible in Hotkey Editor. Find a key combination and free key that's available that's easy for you to get to. So you're going to press this and left mouse click to call the marking menu. So it's going to pop up with a warning. is actually not a warning necessarily that you've overwritten something. This warning is just saying, hey, this is a press release command. It's not going to work. Do you want me to set it up for the release? And you just say yes, and it fills out the other one. And now I get a nice clean thing by just doing Control-Shift-F and left mouse, and boom, I can just do the same kind of flicky flick to reset. And I know if I flick up, it's going to reset all of them. If I flick to the right, it's going to be just translate or just rotate. It's a fantastic tool. I really encourage everyone to explore that. It's a better solution in my opinion than shelves, because shelves are cluttery. You can't really organize them very well. It's just like lines of stuff, and they take up UI. A marking menu, you can have tons and tons of tools that can't fit into hotkeys, and it only takes up the screen real estate when you call it up. So it's efficient, it's fast, and it's minimal. So that's what I love about these things. So give it a try.